Hi guys. So I'm playing with some new software that I've got, and I thought I would cover something that I think a lot of people have a question about, which is how high your heart rate should be when you work out. So we have all kinds of gadgets around, watches and things like that to tell us what our heart rate is, but I think it's a pretty frequent question for what it should be at any part of your workout. So, 3 goals for 3 zones. There are 3 different zones in general, depending on what you're looking at. Some of them break them up a little farther, but I think 3 is a good number for us to use for an overview. And each of those 3 zones that we're going to use today, they have a different reason for working out in them. So 3 different goals. So zone 1, which I've sort of got here in orange, that's going to be for improving your overall health. So if that's your goal, you're primarily probably going to stick in zone 1. Zone 2, which is the green little apple here, is an increased burning of calories and improved aerobic health. There's your cardiovascular health right there. That one's really important, especially if you're trying to lose weight. It's good to hit zone 2. And lastly, the zone 3 that we're going to use is going to be for improving your athletic performance. So if you're training for something, if you're training for a marathon or a 5K, and you're just not quite performing the way that you want to really get your maximum improvement, you're going to have to hit zone 3. So to find your target heart rate, you have to find your maximum heart rate. So there's a lot of different ways to do that. As is usual for pretty much everything, it goes from really simple to really complicated. But what I'm going to use here is just a really basic 220 minus your age. So this is kind of standard for finding your maximum heart rate. But finding the target that you need to be in can be so complicated that you can't even do it without some really sophisticated equipment that even most gyms don't have. So just using the basic today, 220 minus your age. I have an example down here using my age, so I'm 28. So I would do 220 minus 28, and that would give me my maximum heart rate. Now this is not our target heart rate. This is the top end of do not go past this mark. This is your big red flashing sign. This is 100% max heart rate. So we're going to be talking about it in percents of maximum heart rate here in a minute. So zone 1. So this is your decreased body fat, decreased blood lipids, lowering your blood pressure. This is your healthy zone. So we want you to be in zone 1. Usually we're going to say at least like 30 minutes a day. We want you to be in zone 1 just so that you can be in optimum health, so that you can avoid or reduce your risk for metabolic syndrome, for heart disease, all of these different illnesses that come from a sedentary lifestyle. We want you to make sure that you're hitting zone 1 a lot during your week. So that is 65 to 75% of your maximum heart rate that we calculated in the last slide. So what you would do here is you would take your maximum heart rate and you would multiply it by 0.65 and then multiply it by 0.75, and that would be your low end and then your high end of your target heart rate for zone 1. So I left out my 0.75 down here, but what I did down here was I did that 192, which is my max heart rate for my age. Then I multiplied that by 0.65 and got 124, multiplied it by 0.75, got 144. So 124 to 144, that is my target zone for zone 1. So if I'm working out and I check my watch, or I check it on an app, or I do it myself by filling out my pulse and watching a clock, and my heart rate is within that range, I know I'm in zone 1 and I'm doing some really healthy stuff for my body. Zone 2 is the one we're talking about improving aerobics mostly here. So I've got higher basal metabolic rate up here. This just means that you are burning more calories when you're at rest than you would otherwise. So more calories even when you're not working out. And it improves that cardiovascular health. So you're not going to be out of breath as quickly when you're doing any kind of exercise. and that's 76 to 85% of your maximum heart rate. So we use the same equation that we did the last time. 192 times 0.76, 192 times 0.85, and then we have our target heart rate for zone 2. I used mine down there for 192. That would put me at 146 to 163 beats per minute for zone 2. Moving on, zone 3. So zone 3 is going to improve athletic performance. This is about as high as your heart rate should ever go. This is 86 to 95% of your max heart rate. And this is if you're training to do something athletic, training for a 5K, or you just want to be more fit, you want to perform better at whatever it is. Maybe you're running a Spartan race, I don't know. But if you want to improve athletic performance to the maximum capability, you're going to have to hit zone 3 at some point for that. So again, I just calculated it for my heart rate down here for my age group at 28, and found that my 86 to 95% max heart rate is at 165 to 182 beats per minute. So this is about as high as I should ever go. I should not be looking at my watch and seeing that my heart rate is, tacking out at 193, because that is not even in zone 3 for me. This is as high as I should go. And zone 3 is really difficult to maintain. It's going to zap your energy really fast. This is hard, heavy exercise. It's going to be difficult to talk when you're in zone 3. You're not going to be able to carry on a full conversation easily. And you're really not going to be able to maintain zone 3 for more than 30 minutes. If you're cycling through them for 30 minutes and you're hitting zone 3 regularly with interval training, you're going to be tired after 30 minutes. It's just or you're not hitting it. That's just pretty much the only way that that's going to be. So other considerations and which zone you should aim for. For maximum results, I'm going to say you're going to spend some time in every single zone. So that's something like interval training, where you have a heart rate spike section for a minute or 2 minutes, where your heart rate's going to climb up into zone 3, and then you're going to have easier exercises after that, where your heart rate goes back to zone 1. You have that recovery period before you spike it back up again. And that's been proven to be a very effective way to exercise, but that is going to cycle you through every zone that there is. So you get the benefits of every one of them. Some things I do want to say about that is if you are new to exercise, you haven't been exercising for a while, or maybe you just exercise once a week or so, you should just start in zone 1. Exercise to avoid injury, it's always about the slow progression. There is no quick and easy way to just jump up there and start just busting it out. You start slow, and you build your way up. And you don't want to go from not exercising at all to trying to get your heart rate up to 180 and holding it there for 20 minutes and just going really hard at it. Start in zone 1, stay there for about 4 weeks or so. 4 weeks is generally a good, we call it periodization. It's a good starter period before you can advance your workouts and get your body adjusted to it. It's about how long it takes your body to adjust to something new. So start in zone 1 and then slowly work your way up. My last consideration here on this page, it's probably pretty obvious, but I always want to say it. Please, 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 if you have a pre-existing condition, especially if it's cardiac, if you've ever had an arrhythmia, that's something like atrial fibrillation, a history of really severe tachycardia, if you have heart disease, if you have something that would impede your breathing, even if you have something like diabetes, where your blood sugar has a tendency to drop low if you're on insulin, please talk to your doctor before you start using these heart zones as a end-all be-all guide, because it may not be right for everybody. And I would just rather you take the time and go talk to your doctor and have them sign off on whatever exercise program you're planning to do than you get hurt. That pretty much summed it up. Like I said, it was just a quick little chat here while I play with this new little program that I've got. So if you liked it, you can give me a subscribe, give me a like. But more importantly to me right now, because I'm doing these for practice, I'm just sort of having fun with it. Shoot me a message, leave me a comment, tell me what you liked about it, tell me what you didn't like about it. Give me some ideas for some more videos. Thanks, guys.